October is Black History Month, and S2R and the Great Outdoors Project wanted to do something that would combine our passion for mental health and well-being and the outdoors with Black history in the Kirklees community. That's how we found ourselves bringing our workday team to the new Windrush Gardens at Springwood to help volunteers from Building African Caribbean Communities and Kirklees Council staff to bring the garden they have been planning for many years to life. We asked some of the volunteers involved about their new garden.
Why did you choose to make Springwood the area for this garden?
Because I don't know if you know the history of Springwood, but this is one of the places where people from the Caribbean first settled when they came to Huddersfield in the 50s mainly, and all this area here was occupied by many people from the Caribbean, but also worldwide. It's a very international area, got lots of different ethnic groups here, and I know that my parents lived on Upper George Street, which is at the back of here, and they lived there a couple of years before moving to their own home. Then they lived with multiple occupants, as used to happen back in the day when people just wasn't renting their homes out to people from the Caribbean.
So this is called the Windrush Garden. Why did you choose a garden to celebrate the Windrush event?
I think we thought about something that's going to remain. We thought about doing something that's going to be here forever, well, for a long time. And the idea of the garden came to mind. We thought, what could we do to celebrate and to remember? And someone suggested the garden. We thought, yeah, that's brilliant, because it will always be here. We're going to have a picture of the Windrush ship etched somewhere, as well as stones with names of the different islands. And we hope that it's going to be all artwork. There's going to be a lot of artwork which will make it look even brighter.
Do you think that gardens are good for people's well-being and their mental health?
Oh, I think so. When people can really get into what they're doing, and there's so much to learn, and it's something to concentrate on instead of everything that's happening around you. Concentrate on the garden and how beautiful it's going to look when you've done it.
Do you think that gardening is good for people's well-being and their mental health?
Absolutely. Not especially the mental health. And I look at this garden here and the seats that we have, and note that the elderly can just come, sit down and enjoy the flowers when they're in bloom, and be able to help their well-being. You know, give them something to positively think about. I'm part of the Windrush generation. I've been here for quite some time, and I've seen this garden when it was not a garden. It was a place where the elderly used to frequent and discuss all and sundry. They used to call it the House of Parliament. I haven't got any green fingers, but I have a little garden at home,
yeah,
which occupied me during the COVID lockdown, and I enjoyed it. But I'm a vegetable gardener, not a plant gardener. In my community, people like kitchen gardens. They call it, in the Caribbean, you would call it a kitchen garden, which is vegetables and so on. And there's a number of people in our community now who has that kind of garden. And I'm hoping that they could get involved with this one.
I'm Heather Norris Nicholson, and I've been working with the group devising the Windrush Anniversary Garden for about 4 years, and it's delightful to see it coming into shape today with the help of all the volunteers. So One of the lovely things about this garden is that it can help make some sort of connections over time with the gardening traditions and the culinary traditions and traditional uses of plants back in the Caribbean. You might think that's a bit strange in Huddersfield, but we've done our research. There are a number of plants that are hardy enough and should be able to thrive here. So out of that could become, not just connections with the past, but ongoing sustaining of traditions and memories, and it's a reminder within the local environment of the learning opportunities associated with nature and a little urban wild patch like this, which, let's face it, just outside the ring road has the potential to become part of a green corridor into the town centre for this part of Huddersfield. A part of Huddersfield which has a wonderful history itself. Look at the tower behind. It's part of the railway heritage associated with this area. We are in a conservation area that very nearly, back in the day, saw the tearing down of all of these old buildings, but attitudes changed and being saved. So we've got railway heritage, we've got Victorian heritage, and we've also got the heritage, the cultural heritage and diversity of this region, which over successive decades became the home, the first point of arrival for many people from overseas. And that tradition actually goes back to the Irish coming. So we've had Irish people, we've had Eastern European people, people from South Asia, people from the Caribbean.
So in the future you're going to need some volunteers to help upkeep this garden. Who do you think that you'd like to invite to come along and get involved?
I'd like to invite you and your volunteers to come along and get involved, but also people in the community who might be, people in the community, people in the around here who will appreciate the garden and see what it's adding to the area, because when all these flowers are in bloom, it's going to be beautiful. So yes, we're hoping to that maybe people from the pub and Oasis and the shops and the school will be able to maybe form some sort of a group that's going to be friends of the Windrush Garden.
At S2R we know the value of volunteering, both to your well-being and to the communities where you choose to volunteer. But don't take my word for it. Here's Claire, who's one of our regular volunteers in the outdoors.
Could you tell us about your experience doing the outdoor volunteering and what it does for you?
Well, I've probably been coming here nearly to S2R nearly 3 years. I think it's just a really good way of getting out, actually helping different community projects. It's good for your physical and mental health. I've done lots of different things. I think Jason is always incredibly proactive about building links with different community projects. So you get the sense you're not only, you're doing it partly for yourself to get out and about and do something, because volunteering is never just for the community, it's a bit for yourself, but you also get the great satisfaction of looking at things that you've made a contribution towards and knowing that maybe people don't realise that things have been done by volunteers, but you've actually improved the environment around Kirklees. So it's a splendid thing to be able to be involved in.
The Windrush Garden will need lots of volunteers in the coming months, so if this is the project for you, then get in touch with them and I'm sure that they will find you an opportunity to benefit from being involved. There are community projects like this all across Kirklees with the opportunity to get involved. So if this is something you might be interested in, why not get in touch with us here at S2R and we'll see if we can link you up with a project that's near to you. We also have our own in-house projects like this workday, and so if you'd like to be involved with those, again get in touch with us and we'll see if we can